of Russia, but she did. And so, as I introduce you to Pam Shriver and Mary Jo Fernandez again, when we look back at that match, it was what a way to start.
Well, our first televised match, even though it wasn't great play throughout, it had a lot of drama, particularly at the end of the match. It was a very streaky match, each player winning a lot of games in a row, and for Serena, a big comeback.
It really was, because Serena looked out of it. She was down a set and 3 love, 2 breaks for Meskina, the French Open champion, and somehow, with a little help from Anastasia Meskina, Serena found a way to get back into this match. There were a lot of long rallies. This match was over 2 hours. Meskina was controlling the court in the beginning, and then Serena started to fire some returns to Anastasia. Great reflex here off this overhead. This was to go up a break in the second set, 5-3. And look at the emotion from Serena. She got very excited after that big point.
That was in the middle of winning 8 games in a row for Serena Williams in the heart of this match, which turned it all around.
Well, she would win the first 2 games of the final set, then lose a few, and look at the athleticism getting up to that overhead. The crowd got behind Serena. She was able to fire down the aces to close out the match. She didn't play her best, but she got through this match, and I think that's going to start to give her some of the confidence that she needs if she's going to win the championship.
Well, we'll see whether or not, as this round robin, this tournament continues, if this match can turn around a year. It's a little late, but she's looking to start 05 positively.
And we're looking here at Lindsay Davenport just about to start her match, #1 player in the world right now. It's amazing. She's been a #1 player at the end of the year twice in her career. She'd love to make it a 3rd, and it's really a remarkable comeback because she had been talking about retirement.
She sure was. Beginning of the year, she was just still coming back really from toe surgery. She had knee surgery the year before, and her whole year was extraordinary, especially when the summer hard court season started. The U.S. Open Series began, and Lindsay didn't lose a match.
She was very impressive. She was playing Venus Williams in Stanford. She had not defeated Venus in over 3 years. It was a very tight 3-set match, but Lindsay has gotten herself in tremendous shape. She's hitting the ball cleanly off the ground. The serve has been the big weapon. She's winning 3 points. From Stanford, she would go to L.A., and she'd face Serena Williams in the final, another player she had not defeated in over 3 years, and this was a lopsided match. Lindsay, total control, served well, barely lost points on serve, and she finished the California swing, defeating Anastasia Meskina in San Diego, and yes, she would be the winner of the U.S. Open Series and win 1 more tournament in Cincinnati.
Beat Meskina in the finals down in San Diego, and that was after Meskina had fought off 9 match points the night before, but Davenport winning 4 tournaments in a row, 22 matches in a row before losing the semifinals to Kuznetsova at the U.S. Open, and that's why Davenport has a chance to finish and is the odds-on favorite to finish the year #1 in the world. Emily Mauresmo has a chance, but she's over 300 points behind Lindsay Davenport. They're the only 2 players in the tour this year, Cliff, to win 60 matches or more.
Elena Dementieva has had also an outstanding year, 2 Grand Slam finals. We talked a lot about her serve, and you'll get a chance to see that again tonight. Her serve is one thing. The way she backs it up is another.
Well, she's gutsy. I mean, Mary Jo, a lot of players, when their serve collapses, the rest of their game collapses, she's able to still maintain the great ground strokes, the good competitive edge, and she moves beautifully.
Oh, she's very quick. She's very strong. She's got a big forehand. That's her big weapon. The backhand has improved, and yes, even though the serve might not be on all the time, it doesn't affect her mentally, but I think the last few weeks the service been starting to play a little bit better, a little bit more faith in it.
Well, and Cliff, remember the last tournament we saw Dementieva, she started off a match with 4 straight double faults, 13 serves in a row, none that were good. Let's hope it's a little different tonight.
Let's hope it is. For this crowd, of course, they'd like to see hometown girl Lindsay do just fine. Let's see if that happens. This is the final match of this first day of round-robin competition, and it's the world's #1 against Elena Dementieva, who has been in 2 slam finals this year.
ESPN2's exclusive presentation of the WTA Championships is presented by the Porsche Cayenne and the all-new Porsche 911. Porsche, there is no substitute. And in part by the new Singular, raising the bar, and Dubai Duty Free.
The WTA Tour Championships continuing her round robin in the red group. Lindsay Davenport and Elena Dementieva. Lindsay Davenport has won 3. In fact, if she could win the French Championships, would have all 4 under her belt. She's from Laguna Beach, not far from here. Born in Palos Verdes, so she is a Southern Californian.
And she has a great record in Southern California as a pro. She's won all the tournaments out here at least once, except for the championships here.
Dementieva's here making her 5th straight appearance in the championship, so this was her most successful season.
2 finals of majors, French and the U.S. Open. Good match record. 1 title this year. Dementieva's at all-time high with her ranking. Last time these two played, Davenport won 2 and 4 in San Diego. But besides the Williams sisters, Dementieva is the only player in the top 20 to have 4 wins over Lindsay Davenport.
Wow.
15 touchdowns.
But on hard courts, Davenport's really dominated. I guess probably consider this maybe indoor carpet, but on hard she's only lost once, and that was actually had to default in the middle of it. 8 of her 9 wins have been on the hard courts against Dementieva.
15.
Double fault, 2 double faults in his first serve game, and a break point here for Davenport. Yeah, I think you can. It's got that acrylic layer, that top acrylic hard court layer on top of the surface that is built on top of the ice.
34.
So it's the ice and then a wooden surface, and then on top of that a tennis court surface, including the acrylic top layer.
They were still painting the lines yesterday in the early afternoon. And Davenport was the first player, along with Sharapova, to practice on this court yesterday.
Big forehand from Dementieva. That's her weapon.
Yes.
And her weapon is also being resilient in service games with double faults. She's had 2, and she's still at deuce with a chance to hold serve.
Got it. Dementieva with a game point first game.
Davenport's talked about how frustrating it is sometimes to return against Dementieva because you don't know what's coming. That last serve was a good first serve. She goes, she can serve him fast, she can serve him slow. Then you might not see her return for a while because she doubles. So there's just no rhythm. You can't get into a groove on the return. This is coming from one of the best returners in the game.
Double fault. That's 3 double faults in this first serve. Yeah, but nevertheless, Dementieva is embarrassed by her own serve. And I remember at one point at the French this year, she said, "I hate my serve."
Well, I think in the after the final in a press conference, didn't she shed some tears about it? There's another Russian that had some trouble with her serve, Kornikova.
4 double faults in his first serve game.
Dear. Well, that's what we had to New Haven, except only 4 points played. You know, sometimes it's hard to concentrate when you're the returner and you're wondering if the serves are going to go in.
Yeah, there's that much more pressure on you. I mean, Davenport saying to herself, I should have won this game a long time ago.
I was just thinking, here she is at deuce with 4 double faults already to her advantage. Davenport still hasn't broken, and you know that's playing on her mind just a bit, which can get Davenport in a little bit of a poor mood.
Lindsay Davenport moves up nicely to this backhand, and then look at this forehand volley. Cuts off the angle.
Made it look easy.
She really did. Another break point. She has great feel. She used to be #1 in the world in doubles.
Played a little bit of doubles this year. Not a full double schedule.
She's looking trim and in shape too, Lindsay. Fault gives Lindsay Davenport break the serve first game. We've been talking a lot about her serve. Well, here's Lindsay talking about playing against Dementieva and her serve.
Other times it's a huge liability for her, and I think it always depends on which serve kind of shows up. I've seen her practice and she serves great, and I've seen her in matches not being able to make her. So you really have to try and attack that second serve that you know is going to beforehand, and really kind of make her feel worse about it, and you know, try and hold her serve, because she does mentally remarkably come back after serving bad games to come back and break the serve and returning well.
It's right after that interview, Davenport raced downstairs to the locker room, changed into her practice clothes, and hit with Sharapova. That was 2:30 yesterday afternoon, or the day before the tournament started.
59.
How good would Dementieva be if she had a great serve? Or would her game not be as good if she had a better serve?
That's the question. You know, perhaps she's just learned to adjust and fill in the voids with better play on the other aspects. It's just so hard to know. I mean, I'm amazed she's where she is with that serve. Given the quality in the top 10 and the top 20 right now in women's tennis, it just shows you how great the rest of her game is.
That's right. I just think she'd be that much better. I mean, I've actually asked Lindsay about it, and she said she is so fast, she's so good off the ground. If she had a better serve, much more trouble.
And talking to the players yesterday, an awful lot of them said that her serve has actually improved, and that when it does go in, even though it's not hard, it's slice, it stays low, it's not that easy to climb on top of.
Davenport holds 2 games to her in the first set.
Davenport leads 2 games to none.
Through the forehand for Dementieva. She likes the open stance, really rotates her hips well.
Not to forget that Dementieva was a U.S. Open semi-finalist and Olympic silver medalist when she was 18.
It was in 2000, losing to Davenport in the semis in straight sets, but the second set was very close. It was her first foray into a major semifinal. And lost to Venus in Sydney.
She kind of went into a slump after 2000. Didn't really improve until last year when she won her first tournament ever in Amelia.
Over Davenport.
For Davenport, she was down in that match, came back, and she really has worked on other parts of her game. Her backhand has improved tremendously. She comes to net a lot more. She started playing more doubles. And that's what one of that dramatic match at the U.S. Open against Capriati. She was really willing to move forward.
That third set this year. Extraordinary.
She said that when she was telling her mom recently that when she got to the top 10 the first time when she was still a teenager, didn't really understand how big that was. It happened too fast and she didn't enjoy it. Now, the second time, she is enjoying it. She realizes how hard it is to do. It's the sixth double fault. And a break chance here for Davenport to go up 3 games till her first set. As Davenport gets the second break, he will serve, leading 3 games to 11. We'll come back to the Staples Center in LA and this year-ending Women's Tennis Association Championship. Lindsay Davenport leading by 3 games to 11. She is about to serve. You're going to later tonight get a chance to see 2 Grand Slam champions, starting with Svetlana Kuznetsova and then Maria Sharapova. How surprising was it that Kuznetsova wins the U.S. Open this year against all odds, and Maria Sharapova at Wimbledon, a 17-year-old in a huge upset. That's live coverage tonight at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. Svetlana Kuznetsova and Maria Sharapova, number 4 and 6 in the world, respectively.
They played just a few weeks ago in Moscow, or rather, excuse me, in Beijing, and Kuznetsova just crushed Sharapova 2-2. And before that, they played a pretty memorable round of 16 match at Wimbledon a year and a half ago, 7-5 in the third, also for Kuznetsova. Who's 4 in the world? Wow. That's hard to believe. I remember 2 years ago, Martina Navratilova played my charity event in Baltimore. We were going down the WTA Tour ranking list, trying to figure out who she was going to play doubles with in 03, we found this new Russian just inside the top 50 in the world, Kuznetsova.
The winner in the black group already with Kuznetsova having taken out Vera Zvonareva, her countrywoman. So, as we mentioned, it's Kuznetsova and Sharapova tonight at 11. Mauresmo, obviously, is the top player in that group. When's your event this year? Who's playing, Cam? I think I saw some. You got a pretty good field.
Yeah, actually December 17 in Baltimore, and Sharapova's playing Davenport. That's our feature match.
You always get a good field.
Well, for one night, you got to bring them in. Cliffy played it one year. You've played it.
That's right. Great event.
30-15.
First double fault for Davenport.
Well, Lindsay clearly sees a mark, but
she's not going to get an overrule in this surface.
that's as long as you'll ever see Davenport question a call.
30-40.
Great point.
That's a way to respond. She can serve so well indoors.
Well, and she serves so well outdoors. One of the reasons why she's #1 in the world. It really sets up for her second shot. Equally as lethal from either forehand or backhand range.
And she's an underrated volleyer because you talk so much about her forehand, her backhand, her serve, and really handy up there.
Great year, obviously, for the Russian, as we've said a few times, 2 slam finals, but she lost in the first round at Athens in the Olympics, and that really aggravated her. She said it was the worst tournament I ever played in my career.
She was the defending silver medalist, so that would an extra bit of stink.
Says I've dreamed my whole life of winning a gold medal.
Speaking of gold medals, that really is what catapulted Lindsay. Davenport in '96 beat Sanchez Vicario in straight sets in Atlanta to win the gold. 2 summers later, won her first major at '98 U.S. Open in straight sets over Hingis.
Lindsay in control of this match.
Davenport leads 5-4 against 2 love.
And I really think now Davenport believes that she can win any event she enters, any major. I really feel Wimbledon or the U.S. Open should have gone her way. Also, Sharapova in the semis of Wimbledon, leading a set and a break. It had a rain delay, one of the many throughout the championships. Things turned around.
You know, I didn't have one rain delay in Los Angeles while you guys were suffering through 22 of them. Something like that at Wimbledon.
Here's another example of Davenport's feel, known for her power, but at the last minute she flicks her wrist for a great topspin lob winner. But at the U.S. Open, she also had chances. She lost to Kuznetsova in the semis, led 3-love in the third set.
And then pulled a hip flexor, which is a tough muscle to pull. Can't really move.
All of a sudden, she's become a contender again at these majors.
Only won 2 points on her second serve, Dementieva, 2 of 10.
6 of them have been double faults.
Yeah, well, it's not going to help the percentage. That last second serve, though, was at 94, and she was in control of that point until she missed that volley. Such a difference in her second serves. She went for that one. Missed
7
it.
double faults.
Well, sometimes she does go for 2 first serves. Other times she just pushes the second serve in.
Davenport has a 5-game-to-love lead. She's cruising in the first set against 2-time slam finalist this year, Dementieva. We'll be back and see if the Southern California gal can close it out. Lindsay Davenport with a 5-game-to-love lead over Elena Dementieva, and this WTA Tour Championship first round robin match looks to be in Davenport's hands. Way too many double faults and a poor start from Dementieva, which has not been able to recover. Lost a 6-love set to Meskina in the final in Moscow.
Boy, lost a couple of tough finals to Meskina this year. None tougher than the French. Serve really let her down in that final. Both players there playing their first major final.
She and Meskina are very good friends. They both took lessons as a kid at the same club in Moscow from Marat Safin's mom, Rosa.
And Kuznetsova and Zvonareva are very good friends. The only one that's sort of a little more on her own would be Sharapova. She's the youngest.
Russians moved, a lot of them moved to Spain or the US. Not Dementieva, she still lives in Moscow, trains at the local club.
Now, how much do you think this Russian influx is because of everything Kornikova did from '97 when she burst on, and that whole energy of her success both on and off the court?
Definitely helped. Getting hurt, a lot more popularity, more exposure.
And I think they juice each other up again. There's no question that if anything you can do, I can do.
Lindsay
Lindsay Davenport closes it out pretty handily. 6-8 for love. Set number 2, and we come back here to the Staples Center, LA. First round robin match for these two. Lindsay Davenport here in her first round robin effort of this WTA Tour Championships presented by Porsche. But she has easily won the first set against Elena Dementieva. The Porsche Group standings now, after 2 matches completed, the this one underway. It looked like this starting with the red group, Serena Williams with a win, but a very tight one.
Oh, was it ever. Very streaky. 8 games in a row in the middle of that match to Serena propelled her to a 3-set win that was best tennis at the end of that match, Mary Jo.
Could have given her some confidence, hopefully, for her next round. And then in the black group, Dementieva with the win over Zvonareva, straight sets.
Second set.
My sense, we're talking about the Russians, is that they feel that the Wimbledon win of Maria Sharapova was almost a fluke. And I wonder, but you're closer to the heartbeat of women's tennis. Maybe that's wrong. It was just kind of the feeling I got.
Well, it was certainly a surprise, but I don't know. Mosquito winning the French, Kuznetsova winning the Open, huh? No, if one was that much more surprising than the other. I mean, Sharapova on grass proved the year before he's going to be a force.
She won one of the warm-up tournaments leading into Wimbledon on grass. I think she probably has the most potential to improve still.
Sharapova's also had a pretty good second half of the year. She won a couple out east.
She spoke about how in the summer after Wimbledon it was no easy adjustment. Going out on the court as the Wimbledon champion. All the time commitments and focus that was on her. I think when she finished the U.S. Open and entered kind of the fall finish of the tennis season, she relaxed a little more again.
30-40.
Two double faults in this game to start off. Served five in her opening game in the first set. Break point.
Lindsay, on the other hand, just playing so confidently that if you give her an opening, she will take it. 1-2 Davenport with a break in the second set, so she has won 7 straight games.
Well, we're going to be seeing an awful lot of these during this 6-day WTA Tour Championship. The Russians are here. They've been coming for years. We've been seeing their improvement for, what, the last 4 years?
Well, they've arrived. Mosquito, Kuznetsova, Dementieva, Sharapova, and Zvonareva. And there's a couple more outside the top 10. Petrova, Bovina.
Remember when we saw Zvonareva the first time was losing in 3 sets to Serena, the French, 3 years ago, this next French Open. And then Sharapova, first time I remember her at a big pro event was at Indian Wells, I think, a couple of years ago, losing to Celis.
That's right. That was her first ever tournament.
I don't remember when I saw Mosquito the first time, or Dementieva. It's been quite a while. Both been around longer.
Davenport's 4 losses since May have come to Russians only.
Ooh, that's a nice little factoid.
She seems in such control tonight. I think one of the biggest improvements this year for Davenport has been her attitude. She's just been so positive at all times.
Oh, it's all right there for her.
You've got such good hands, such good ball control.
14-15.
You know, when you're playing well, everything's slower. The ball comes across, and you have so much time to think and consider what to do.
This is where Dementieva needs to make her move somehow.
And if you're Davenport, it's easy just to have a slight little hiccup or a little breather. You have to be real careful when you're zooming through a match that you don't lose your concentration.
Well, and you always worry after you win a 6-love set because things can't get much better for you and they can only get better for your opponent.
I used to worry still a lot more when I lost a set 6-love. You know, that pace is just perfect for Davenport.
And Davenport holds 2 games to 11 in the second. Is there any explanation for how things have changed in women's tennis? It seems like for as long as I can remember anyway, it was a 2-person race. It was Chris and Martina for so long, Steffi for a while, Marcellus for a while, of course, Sabatini in some respect. Then the Williams sisters, then the Belgians. Now it is just wide open.
And Davenport and Hingis for such a while. 1 and 2. It's about time. You know, I think this should probably be more the way it is in the future. I think it should be more parity, more players with a chance to win, with a belief that they can win. But, you know, now it's funny because look what's happening on the men's side with Mr. Federer. Suddenly there is one dominant player.
I think it's a good thing. It's good for the players, good for the fans, not knowing who's going to win at the end of the week. Makes it a little bit more challenging, more exciting.
I'm just trying to figure in this match, is Davenport playing that well? And only 6 unforced errors for someone who hits the ball as hard as she hits it.
Yeah, she's really playing well. She's not missing.
16 winners, 6 unforced errors by Davenport. That says pretty much why it's 6-love, 2-love. And look what Dementieva has to do to win a point.
Well, the key against Davenport has always been to try to get her on the move, get her to run out wide. But she hits the ball so big and she's not making mistakes that Dementieva has not been able to do that at all. Davenport's controlled the whole match. Look at the differential. 10 more winners than unforced errors. When Davenport plays like that, very few people can come close to beating her.
Davenport holds and breaks again, I should say, and she is just totally dominant in this match. Could this be a double bagel coming up? 6-love, 3-love, Davenport. The City of Angels showing its best face-off here in downtown LA, and the Staples Center is very close to the downtown section. It's very accessible as well, and it hosts for the 3rd straight year this WTA Tour Championship presented by Porsche. Lindsay Davenport leading by 9 games to zip, 6-love, 3-love. The Dubai duty-free match summary shows the winners from Davenport and not balanced by unforced errors. It's been a very clean match for her.
And break points, just one for Dementieva that she lost. All sorts of break opportunities converted for Davenport.
Dementieva just has one thing she can do now is just let it rip. I mean, she's got to go for her shots.
So quick, showing you her speed, one of her attributes.
She just needs to start doing more with the first opportunity she gets. That first ball, whether it's the return of serve, the second serve. Here she gets up to the short one nicely and guides it up the line. And try to get Davenport off balance somehow.
Well, mentioned earlier how pace of play just suits Davenport. Dementieva just hits it so beautifully. If she could do some...
It's given her trouble in the past.
Top. Yeah, on a clay court, I've seen it. I just can't remember too many times on an indoor or hard court. Davenport usually finds a way. Played on clay at the French Open. Dementieva winning easily. The previous loss Davenport had was also on clay.
Bad shots for Dementieva. Catching the ball extremely late. I think now she's starting to think about the double bagel. That's what's crossing her mind.
You have to play so much tennis in these round-robin formats. I'm sure Davenport would be ecstatic. Get off the court quickly. You know, a lot of times your schedule, when you can play, and you can play early enough in the week and have a day off late enough so that if you get through to the semis, it's her mom, Ann Davenport, and Laura Eby, who now works exclusively for Davenport, used to be a WTA Tour physio.
Lindsay holds, and she's got 4 games to love. So it seems that Dementieva is going to try to avoid a double bagel. She's going to have to win this one.
Were you surprised that Davenport hired someone full-time to travel like that?
I was, because Davenport likes to keep to herself, doesn't like an entourage, and she says that this year she finally had one for the first time. She hired a trainer as well to do the fitness workouts.
Well, you got to pay for the entourage, so she certainly did that.
I think as you get older, you realize you have to take care of yourself, and she's 28 years old. It's definitely helped her keep her body together.
Ten double faults in, what is this? Is this her 5th serve game or 6th? 6th serve game, 10 double faults.
But when you consider she served 5 in her opening game.
That's not so bad. I've seen a lot worse from her. Here's a little bit of an opportunity at 30-15 to win a game.
that was long. Better hit a good drop shot against Dementieva.
This is where you pray for an unforced error from Davenport just to get on the board. For some reason, winning a game makes a big difference. Your psyche.
The ego only gets a crushing instead of a demolition.
She went for the second serve, but another double, number 11, and it's deuce.
Well, I think that's her feeling now on the second serve, is just go ahead and go for it, because she serves a lot of double faults even when she hits it at 65 miles an hour, so she might as well get something out of it when it does go in.
I think that's true of a match like this, Pam, but if you get into a really tight match and the tiebreaker in the third, like she's been a number of times,
You think
including a couple at the U.S. Open.
You'll see that 65er again.
Yes. Chibi Cup reality tiebreaker in the third.
Oh, yes.
And Maresmo.
Yep.
And had heat cramps and gosh knows what against Maresmo. And boy, Capriati losing her third U.S. Open semifinal, 7-6 in the third.
Qualifying here by a couple spots. Needed to win a match in Philly last week against Dementieva in the quarterfinal. Did not.
The baseline judge was unsighted. So the chair umpire made the call. Lindsay's going to drop her racket, but...
No, that's correct. That's exactly what happened. She, line person said unsighted, and it was called by the chair. And I think it was a good call.
Yeah, and they should be going to the chairs, but should be...
Dementieva's been shocked that she won a game.
That, or she lost track of the score, or yoo-hoo, change ends.
Lindsay is very much in control of this match, but she doesn't want to let Dementieva have even a prayer of coming back. 4-1.
Shouldn't get too upset.
This is a WTA Tour Championship. Lindsay Davenport, there's the top player in the world, #1, trying to stay there. She takes on Elena Dementieva, and she's looking like the best player in the world this evening. 6-love first set, 4-1 in the second.
Well, Lindsay was awfully irritated with that situation where the linesman was outside and the chair umpire made the call out, giving Dementieva her first game, and boy, she prolonged that argument.
Well, she definitely didn't hear the umpire call it out.
No, he should have made a definite out call, and communication with the players is so important to keeping control.
As good as Dementieva is off the ground, Davenport is just better. 30-15 in this game. She doesn't move quite as well, but I mean, she gets the ball in her racket, Davenport, and she's lethal. 30-15, 4-1.
Wow. Love that. Oh, is it a let? Davenport thought it was good.
She's not going to complain this time, though.
Well, I was confused.
Good anticipation. Dementieva at the net. Cover the down the line, the right shot to cover, and cuts it off with the volley. Good angle.
You know, every player who's in this event has made some big comebacks during the year in order to make the final 8. So,
and remember all the huge comebacks we had last year here on this court as well. Break point.
Dementieva have a great comeback last year against Rubin. He was way out of the match.
It was a huge match too.
It was.
Because if Rubin had beaten her,
she would have qualified instead of Maresmo.
You have a better memory than me. I didn't even remember Dementieva who played this event last year.
A little more pace on the Dementieva ground strokes.
third chance to break in the match. Great serve, sets up an easy forehand bowler. Winning forehand, and that could do so close for Lindsay Davenport, who's the top player in the world.
Deuce.
Smile says, you got to be kidding. She thought that was good. But it's Davenport who has game point for 5 1-second set.
Deuce.
A little slow reacting to that short reply from Dementieva. Davenport expecting it to go a little deeper. That's what got her in trouble.
Lindsay's saying, would you just stop this now? I mean, I've got you. You know that. I'm a couple of breaks in the second set. I won the first set 6-love now. Stop fighting.
I don't think there's anybody in this field that won't fight till the end, no matter what the score is.
Creeping back, breaks here and holds. That is just a relentless rally from Davenport from start to finish.
What was your score on court 1 at Stud Roland Garros? As you look at this one again, Mary Jo, when you played Gabby, your buddy, what was that score?
6-1, 5-1. It was over.
And what was the final score?
10-8 in the third.
Fernandez.
Deuce.
Well, this match has been on court 59 minutes, and I believe that's what spurred you on, Mary Jo, was
Good memory, Pam.
just wanting to see.
Well, it was on the red
1
clay against a player who had a good record against, and all of a sudden I'm like 6-1, 5-1 in less than an hour. I said, I have to make it to an hour. The next thing you know, it was 3 hours and like 40 minutes. Just wide. So growing up, they teach you, try to play 1 point at a time, and it's so hard to do not to get ahead of yourself. And if you're out of a match, it's 1 hour now, not to think, okay, I have no chance to come back. I mean, if you could try to do 1 point at a time and then go 1 game at a time, as easily as you got down 6-1, 5-1, you can come back. We've seen a lot of comebacks in the last few years. Capriati versus Hingis at the Australian Open. Is that a 7-4 love? 100-degree heat.
4 championship points for Hingis. Hingis might still be playing that she won that match.
Didn't you have a little wager last year?
Yeah, I think eventually, but it's going to be years before we know, before I give Cliff $20 or whatever it was. You remember, right?
Cliff said she wasn't coming back, right?
Yeah.
You said she was.
I think she'll play. I think she'll play again on the tour.
Still,
yeah.
Okay. I think you're down 6-1, 5 left.
I agree.
Would you have thought Borg was going to play again? After like 5 years he was away? A lot of people thought Tracy Austin would never play another match again. She came back and played for a couple of years part-time.
Break point, Dementieva.
Billie Jean's finished.
You have to go that far. You can just look at us, too.
Oh, I don't know. Getting this new endurance as a mom, I might have to go into training again. Not. Who's that, Kornikova? Sitting right behind Davenport, young player. Someday, maybe she'll be out here.
Credit for perseverance. She's not going away. Longest game of the match. Goes for a little finesse as she's moving forward. Drop shot winner has another break opportunity. The 7th of the set.
16 minutes long, this game. Almost as long as the rest of the match. Okay, Davenport's looked at one ball. She's given it back. She's looking at another. She's given another back. She's got the one that's going to win her this 17-minute game.
She's going for the big ace, right? Up the tee.
She'll settle for a service winner. There it is. Oh, it was out. You know, these people have got to make louder calls.
She went for it, though.
Oh, nightmare.
Deuce.
Davenport with a game point and a big lead in this match, but she's struggling here in this game, which is by far the longest of the tournament so far. Into her third match of a round-robin competition at the WTA Tour Championships here, Staples Center in LA. Anastasia Meskina in a very close match in the red group. This is a match out of the red group. In the black group, Kuznetsova, who won the US Open Championship earlier, beat Vera Zvonareva of Russia. Lasted longer. This is not over yet. First set of this game.
Probably pretty close. Another break point opportunity for Dementieva.
Yeah. 20 minutes. He thinks it's hilarious.
Davenport.
From Davenport gives her win this game and go up by 5-1.
This is the last point of this marathon.
You said that 10 minutes ago.
No, but now I really have a feeling. 22-minute game. This is one of the longest games I've ever seen. This is now making this match much more interesting. And it has one of the longest games.
Especially in such a lopsided match.
Yeah. Oof, bizarre.
10 point. So much for your feelings. You should keep your feelings to yourself.
That's right.
Keeping myself from now on. I'm just going to be quiet the rest of the match.
Very nice two-handed down the line there. When she's down, Dementieva really opens up. Got it. Break point. Dementieva.
Keeping my feelings to myself. Crowd's gonna go wild after this game. Not a big crowd.
Whoever wins it is going to go wild.
Neither one of these players sees the humor in any of this.
Neither does she. School night.
This is going to be the last point of the game.
Okay. I'll keep in mind to myself.
Perhaps a serve and volley? What do you think? After such a long game, change it up?
Now your feelings are running wild. Nope.
It's up to you.
You tell Mary Jo to keep her feelings to herself.
It's up to you.